It happens in the space between heartbeats. A faint whisper of thunder, and suddenly the world tilts. In the desert dusk, a column of steel beasts rumbles past the edge of the known frontier. Tires and treads grinding over ancient sand, dust surging upwards in a writhing wave of ochre and ash. A soldier's boots splash through loose rubble, chest rattling like an old engine under strain. Somewhere ahead, the mutter of unseen machinery hums, something that wasn't there yesterday. That's when the explosion claws into the air. A shockwave rips through the escort vehicles. The dust blooms upward in a collapsed volcano of grit and heat. For one ticking heartbeat, there is silence before the gunfire begins. Blood throbs in ears. The pump of adrenaline flips everything inside out. In the haze of grime, you catch the glint of a new sensor dome atop a tactical reconnaissance drone, blades slicing through the twilight. It hovers above the blasted landscape, gathering data no human heart could digest fast enough. Under it, the soldier keeps moving, helmet rimmed in sweat, rifle slick with grit, digital map flickering on a wrist pad. The mission? See what the enemy cannot see. Strike what the enemy cannot stop. Survive when the odds are stacked tall as mountains. And yet, in the uncertainty behind every trench and ridge, the human cost remains unchanged. In a crowded hangar, deep inside a base hidden by mountains, another innovation stirs to life. A low hum, clean and mechanical, vibrates the concrete floor. A vehicle unlike anything you've seen, silent, sleek, electric gray, armored but almost elegant. It glides out under artificial lights, wheels replaced by magnetized tracks that flex and adapt over broken roads. A diesel beast, it is not. Instead, it whispers forward toward the frontier, payload of precision weapons and automated systems calculated to win the next war before it's fought. The soldier in its cab, the driver's manual gone, replaced by AI so sharp it anticipates the terrain, the threat, the moment when decision equals survival. He grips the steering harness and inhales the cool antiseptic scent of new tech, a scent that tastes of the future. Yet the fear in his eyes is vintage, the fear that says this machine might keep him alive, but only if he trusts it. On the ground, the battlefield sings a primal song, the whine of drones overhead, nets of sensors strung like spider silk between remote posts, the crack of rifle fire, the shuffle of boots crossing broken pavement, the hiss of active armor plates deflecting fragments into nothing. In the ravaged cityscape left by yesterday's war, civilians huddle behind shattered walls, children's toys abandoned in dust-filled rooms. A soldier steps over a twisted bicycle, its handlebar bent toward the sky like a question. He pauses. The new gear in his backpack, a compact satellite uplink so small it fits in the palm of his hand, pulses in his chest. He glances at the screen. Live feed from a boomer-angling reconnaissance glider drifting above enemy lines, eyes in the sky feeding his map in real time. This level of detail, who can move, where they hide, when they strike. This is what we call unseen innovation. But to him it feels like naked fear, because every pixel has a consequence. And so the night deepens. The drone returns to land, shading out the stars for a moment as its rotors spin down. The soldier drops into a crouch. Around him, the darkness is absolute. Then the final order crackles over the encrypted comms. Go. He launches forward, heartbeat banging, feet slipping on loose gravel. The active camouflage field ripples across his uniform like water across glass. He steps into the enemy compound. The silence inside is hollow. A dog barks far away. Flashlights pierce the dark, revealing nothing and everything. Documents sprawled across a desk, digital hard drives smashed open, a window cracked and broken. He connects his handheld cyber extraction device to a terminal, and the machine eats the data, seconds ticking like footsteps behind him. If something goes wrong, he'll have moments to think and seconds to act. Outside, humans and machines synchronize. A squad deploys small unmanned ground vehicles, rolling robots the size of coolers, into the compound's flank. They feed video, they jam signals, They drop micro-grenades, flashing white-hot, blinding cameras and sight sensors alike. One robot stutters to a halt, its tracks twisted, and the soldier kicks it gently, sending it past its broken parts into the shadows. Death is still analog. Bullet, explosion, fire. But the tools changing the fight have gone digital, robotic, networked. They're unseen in the sense that you don't hear them coming. You awaken to their consequences. In a command center far away, lists of data scroll like ticker tape, movement patterns, heat signatures, satellite imagery layered atop drone feeds, the invisible threads of war turning into an interface on screens. The generals don't meet in smoky rooms anymore. They hover in virtual maps, slender fingers tapping icons, shifting assets, watching the unmanned sentinels, guiding the human foot soldiers. One general breathes out. The weight of every decision presses in, lives counting zeros and ones. The soldier in the field? He watches a grenade tracker whirl overhead, calculating blast radius, sending flares of warnings into his heads-up display. He dives before the explosion clock hits 0. The ground shudders, dust rises. He tastes grit, he tastes air. And through it all, the soldier asks the question, can we still be human in a war shaped by machines? He remembers the smell of his best friend's uniform burning, the sound of a voice he can no longer call back, the steel taste of tears in his mouth. But then he also remembers what he fights for, a dawn where his child's laughter breaks through the alarms of war, a horizon unbroken by conflict. The innovations, the unseen tech, they give him a chance, a shot at coming home. In the early morning light, just before sun touches the ridge, he sets up the advanced sensor net on a forward hill. The air is cold. The metal of the tripod echoes in silence. He wipes his brow. Over the ridge, the enemy patrol moves in a line, shadows shifting between rocks. The net triggers. He watches the screen deploying autopilot interceptors. Tiny missiles lift from hidden tubes below ground, rising silently like dragonflies. They find targets with a precision born of algorithms and stillness, exploding in a bloom of fire and shockwave. The ground quakes, dust rises, and the patrol lies stopped. The soldier exhales. He stares at the flame-blackened terrain. He sees his reflection in the infrared overlay. A man, still human. Somewhere, a drone brings supplies to his team. Food, medkits, ammo. It glides above the firefight, invisible until it lands. The human hand grips the package. The world is shifting beneath the boots of soldiers and hum of machines. The battleground of tomorrow is arriving now. And in the center of it, still raw, still vulnerable, is a soldier who feels everything. Fear, hope, loss, resolve. He is not replaced by technology. He is enabled by it. As the sun climbs, turning the sky from bruised purple to pale gold, the soldier lifts his camera phone. He records the landscape, shattered buildings, children emerging to stare at the strange machines, men in uniform offering food, and water, humankind clinging to normal, because war has given them no choice. He watches a remote medic robot administer first aid to a comrade, valves and sensors whispering through its arms. The wounded soldier grips the hand of the machine for a moment and smiles. Life in the teeth of chaos. And yet the innovations remain unseen to most. The cyber defense systems that stop attacks before they hit the radar, the hypersonic drones that dart across continents, the exoskeleton suits that let a man carry a ton of gear like a pack of feathers. In the casualty ward, a soldier wakes, body broken, but walking because a robotic prosthetic learned his gait and matched his will. He stands, he breathes, he promises to fight again. Night falls. The forward base lights flicker. The rattle of distant gunfire echoes off mountain faces. The drone swarm glides home, turbines muted by stealth ring wings. Inside the base, the soldier leans against the armored hull of the silent vehicle, running fingers along seams, tracing the promise of protection. He watches the stars. Some are satellites, some are dead. He calculates each as a possibility. War has become a chess match played in darkness, data, and steel. But the prize remains primitive: survival, freedom, home. In his dreams, he sees the thunder of treads, the flash of explosions, the data feed scrolling across his vision. He wakes with his heart pounding anyway, because courage doesn't come from machines. It comes from the man and woman who strap on the gear, who step into the wire, who face fear at 003 Jabro while the world sleeps. They stand in silence before the final order. They taste dust. They smell dread. They hear the endless hum of innovation carrying them into the unknown. And when the last mission ends, when the machines power down and the men remove their helmets, what remains is the human story. The innovations will fade for a moment. The war will pause. The soldier will walk home with a limp, with a scar, with memories buried in his chest. He will hear the laughter of children again, the sound of rain on a safe roof, the low hum of everyday life. He will carry unseen tech in his pack, but the real weight will be the cost he paid, because technology can change the battlefield. It can tilt the outcome, reshape how we fight. But it cannot replace the soul behind the rifle. It cannot substitute for the moment when someone says, "Yes, I will step into that dust cloud. Yes, I will risk everything so others might breathe easier." The unseen innovations reshape global conflict, but it's still flesh and blood that make the difference. And when it is quiet, when the machines lie silent, when the war is done and the dust has settled, the soldier will stand in the dawn and look at the horizon and whisper one truth: we were here. We rose. And we refuse to let the future of war destroy the core of what makes us human.